All that panic, and for what? For nothing, as gold will not be tariffed. I'll explain what happened in the markets today, as there has been a fairly big reaction with gold and silver as we explore. And I quote directly, "Gold will not be tariffed," from the President of the United States on his Truth Social account. Statement from Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Gold will not be tariffed. And as simple as that, well, gold and silver dropped fairly dramatically, although it wasn't a plunge. I always see that if it's 2% or more, then that is a plunge, but a sharp pullback indeed off of this news. And still, gold and silver are doing quite well, but silver is below $38 an ounce. In fact, this is a good time for a dip in the prices. If you are in the market to make a purchase, well, this might be a good time to do it. And Summit Metals has all the gold and silver that you need for stacking, as well as some collectibles as well. Excellent customer service and expedited shipping. So check them out. Now, this is an interesting thing here. We're seeing as late news has come through here that gold will not be tariffed, as there was some misinformation that was put out there by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. CNBC is reporting that Donald Trump said on Monday that gold will not face tariffs, knocking down a ruling by U.S. Customs officials that bars of the precious metal imported from Switzerland would face duties. Gold will not be tariffed, Trump said in a Truth Social post, and gold futures have closed down over 2.4%. Per ounce after the announcement, but the spot price did not suffer as much. In fact, the spot price fell 1.43% moments before these markets closed. Gold is down $48.60 today to $3,351. Silver is down 1.74%, down 66 cents today, down to $37.72. So we're below that critical $38 mark, but nonetheless, I am bullish overall on silver, especially silver, considering what I've been posting about recently in my videos. Check out the video I posted today. I'm going to link to it at the end screen of this video. It's some exciting news, I think, about silver that likely is going to mean the prices are going to continue to go up. But remember, we're going to see some pullbacks. And right now, silver is suffering a little bit more than gold is on this news. Now, it did hit a record high on Friday in the futures market after U.S. Customs and Border Protection ruled that 1 kilogram and 100-ounce gold cast bars from Switzerland was subject to Trump's 39% tariffs against the country. That's awful specific for that to be fake news, and I talked about that as well in a video I posted almost immediately after I posted the other video after the announcement, because it was the White House was asked and said it is fake news. Gold bars of this type are used to back contracts on the Commodities Exchange, or COMEX, the main futures market for gold, silver, and other metals. The ruling would have applied not just to Switzerland, but to any country exporting these types of gold bars to the U.S., according to the Swiss Precious Metals Association. In other words, gold bars would have been subject to the prevailing U.S. tariff rate against the country of origin. The Swiss Precious Metal Association warned Friday that the customs ruling may negatively impact the international flow of physical gold. And that's what led to the speculation. And over the weekend, of course, the news was kind of squashed back down early, so it didn't climb too much more. In fact, on our Precious Metals Market Watch, which we do every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time here, we noticed that gold was falling a bit. Silver too, but not a whole lot. But once we got official word from Donald Trump that it was not going to be tariffed, well, the markets reacted, and I think in some ways they're overreacting to the downside because of this news, which is why I feel we're going to recover some of these losses here soon, maybe by the end of the week. That's just a feeling I have. That does not necessarily mean it's going to happen, but it does seem like news like this occurring, and knowing what we have ahead of us, such as more rate hikes or rate cuts that are coming, is going to be nothing but good for gold and silver, I feel. Now, the Swiss Precious Metals Association said that the customs ruling may negatively impact, and of course, Trump imposed what he called reciprocal tariffs against dozens of U.S. trading partners on the 7th of August here. And that has stemmed speculation, and what the Customs and Border Protection posted there about that has been something that is now just taken a life of its own. But nonetheless, that's what's happening here. Now, there's more data that's going to be coming out on inflation, and Reuters is reporting here that U.S. gold futures were settling in lower. So, the futures market did kind of plunge a bit, but everything else is kind of, the spot price has not fallen a whole lot here. And so the market is a little bit more bearish as this uncertainty is out of the way, according to Jim Wyckoff over at Kidco Metals. The traders are going to move on and focus on other things that might actually be friendly for gold because there's prospect of lower interest rates coming soon to the U.S., and I agree with that. Now, U.S. consumer price data is due out tomorrow, and followed by producer price data on Thursday. And if that comes in worse than expected, well, then watch out. I think we'll see gold and silver go back up again. If this week's inflation data figures come in higher than expected, it could give the Fed a reason to pause the anticipated rate cut in September, which would be bearish for gold prices. A recent weaker than expected U.S. jobs report has increased traders' bets on a Fed rate cut in September. Trade negotiations were also in the spotlight for the August 12 deadline set by President Donald Trump for a U.S.-China deal. And meanwhile, Trump will meet with President Vladimir Putin this Friday on August 15th in Alaska to negotiate an end to the Ukraine war. I don't hold out a whole lot of hope, actually, for that. I think it's just going to be mainly a photo op, and Trump doesn't seem to hold out a whole lot more hope either for that either. So I think likely that war is going to continue to press on. We'll see, though. It's just amazing to see what's going on here with the war and with all of this happening. I just don't know. The end in sight is something that it could just go on for years. Literally, those types of wars, especially in Eastern Europe, they can go on for 10 years, up to 10 years at a time. So will they just hold on and will there be any concessions? And I don't know. And that's going to cause more economic instability and uncertainty, which is going to also prop up gold and silver prices. And so we'll see how that plays out. But nonetheless, gold and silver reacting today to the downside. I see this as an opportunity because, like I said, I think they're overreacting. But if you think about it, if these numbers, if we see inflation tick back up again, that's going to make a case for them not to lower rates. And then that's going to probably keep precious metal prices kind of where they're at right now. But I do think there is more driving silver's price, especially to buoy it up a bit and stay where it is or go up a little bit more. But we'll see. Silver, being a metal that has an industrial side as well as a monetary side, reacting today, the precious metal is as such, as a precious metal. But there's more industrially, I think, and as far as demand on the COMEX for these large size bars, that is something that is going to put pressure on the short positions, as we've talked about on this channel, which means that likely we're not going to see it drop a whole lot more than where it is now. I'd be surprised if we did see it fall, even though we are in the dog days of summer. The summer being, about halfway over now. We've not seen much of a doldrum, but a doldrum means that really essentially it doesn't do a whole lot. It does not necessarily mean it's going to, drop precipitously or fall greatly. It just means that there's not much activity or action, and there may be a little bit of a pullback in price for a while. We're not seeing that so far this summer with silver, and there's a lot of drivers that I think are going to be pushing it to the upside, I think, more than not. So there you go. So that's my thoughts on where silver is right now. It is, and gold as well. Again, opportunities make their way through. But remember, both metals are still up a lot from the beginning of the year. It's been a wild ride for sure. I mean, think about it. Gold is only about $150 away from reaching its all-time high in terms of the actual spot price when adjusted for inflation. Silver obviously has a long way to go, but with an over 20% success rate or increase in price this year, that far outpaces inflation, which is the loss of value of the dollar. So there it is. Now, on this channel, I like to bring you the latest news in the world of precious metals. So if you enjoy and find this informative, what I do here in this channel, I hope you will consider pressing that thumbs up button down below. And check out the video I posted earlier today as well on why I think silver is going to continue to go up. And we may even come into another breakout, a new big breakout for silver could be coming soon in spite of the pullback today. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.